inside. And just inside the Europe 22. Richard Hill waits with his partner Rob Andrew through the middle to Carling, and Underwood in from the left wing to try and pierce up the middle. It's back to Hill again. Carling, possible overlap created here. Guscott, and through for the try. Will Carling, the opening score after just 1 minute by the England skipper, and no doubt problems here in defence for the scratch team, the European side, Eddie.
Yes, the combination of Guscott and Carling will obviously pose problems. They play dynamically throughout the championship, and they will pose a lot of problems for this international side.
Europe's 10-metre line. Aubin Huebert of Lourdes. Cleverly placed kick. Pressure in on Hastings, but gets it away to Underwood. The loop round Andrew, Carling, Guscott, oh neat. Stanger against Toada. Man over is Carling for the corner, and home to run it round behind the posts. And made by some magical little bits of instinctive play, notably by Jeremy Guscott with that reverse pass.
Again, it was all made by the two centres. Underwood starts it, but really nothing gains momentum until the two England centres get involved. Here's Carling, the long miss pass coming out, and then this great pass by Guscott. Stanger's put away, but like all the Scottish players this season, he's not just looking to make ground, he keeps the ball alive, and nobody's going to catch Carling when he's put in the clear. Long lad, if anything, looks a bit short on pace. Good try for the England captain.
Dumitrash again, rugged, the Romanian captain. This is Dantron, Capitani, can he slip it in time? And the try goes to Felina. Nicolai Felina of Romania. A deserving score.
Thoroughly deserved, because the European forwards have certainly started to take the game to the home unions, and Philippe Dantron has been right in the vanguard of the assault, and he of course is one of the great French handlers of the front row, and what's more, he showed some vision in getting the pass away.
You join us on a splendid occasion, and of course in a very good cause, the Romanian charitable appeal. And here at Twickenham, first ever time rugby's been played at the stadium on a Sunday afternoon. 40,000 people here to witness some splendid entertainment and top quality rugby from star-studded sides, representing the four home unions under the captaincy of Scotland's Grand Slam captain David Soul. They lead against the Europe 15, a selection from France, Romania, Italy and the Soviet Union, 12 points to 4, and some spectacular tries, and indeed a remarkably good contest. I think many had thought that the four home union's strength would outweigh that of the scratch selection of the European countries, but far from it. Those two early tries by Will Carling, who unhappily had to leave the field not long after to be replaced by Craig Chalmers, a rib injury for Carling, and indeed just before half-time Noel Mannion also injured and replaced by Derek Turnbull. So it's Aubin Huebert, but Cronin and now Soul. Scotland partnership. Richard Hill of England, Craig Chalmers of Scotland, Andrew Guscott, Gavin Hastings, Guscott to Peter Winterbottom. Still making it available well, John Jeffrey, flipped away, David Soul from Richard Hill. Hill again, Chalmers, Andrew, Guscott. That lovely change of pace. Underwood, collared by Dunclair. Felina trying to flip it up, but one of the great but back comes Langlard to save the day for Europe. Huebert, Dantron acting as fly half, no end to the man's abilities. And this is tremendous running out of defence. Felina, In the line, this is Felina, with the man outside, Mironov. Tremendous try by the Soviet Union captain. Well, he's out there on the wing, but he's normally a full-back fly-half, and how well they rounded this off.
The overlap was always on there, and really the covering by the European side has got a little slack now, but good covering by Hastings, but really Mironov, who's just come on, must be thinking that all of a sudden he...
Richard Hill waits, but already the whistle. 22-year-old Craig Chalmers, who really enjoyed a magnificent season, and that grand finale at Murrayfield in which he played such an instrumental part in Scotland's success. Fly half then to Richard Hill, the base of the scrum. Hill now, Chalmers, dummies to Andrew, dummies to Guscott, but not held by Gavin Hastings. Knock-on advantage being played here from Mironov, now to Lajiske. That ball has become very slippery. Patrick and Hastings collided, or was tripped by Dumitrash, or was it? No, it was Janacek, in fact. Flanker Janacek, who was penalised for the trip or obstruction on Gavin Hastings. That's a little hard because I don't think Hastings was going to make it anyway. Lajiske had it all in command. Here's something to delight the crowd. Oh, how about that for a variation over the line? It's knocked down. Cronin. You'll not see a more extraordinary tap penalty move than that, and I can't believe they'd expected it to come off, but it did. Damien Cronin, the scorer.
Another little surprises from the home union side, Richard Hill, and of course it was a rehearsed move, but these chips close to the line do cause all sorts of problems. Rugby League used them a lot, and Cronin takes advantage of one in Rugby Union.
Well, spectacular indeed, innovative too, and it worked like a charm. Damien Cronin, well, he's had 2 tries for Scotland. That's his first for the 4 home unions, created as it was by Richard Hill. Neatly worked and really created out of very little by the Soviet Union number 8 and captain Alexandre Tikhonov.
That's classic play from the Peel. You bring play towards the middle of the field and then suddenly switch it back towards the blind side, and never mind the forward pass. Tikhonov is over for the try.
Alexandre Tikhonov, almost 50 caps for the Soviet Union, who's had the busiest season of any player I know, creating and rounding off here the work of Dantran and Lajiske. Tikhonov, who's been on tour around the world this season, twice here in Britain with the Barbarians only recently, the Hong Kong. It's well struck. Superb kick. 16 points to 14. And the crowd generous in appreciate some kind of obstruction, and what kind of variety of tap ball will we get this time? Not at all. Well, I said it was a serious contest, and this emphasises the point, Eddie Butler.
I think they've probably exhausted their supply of quick penalties there, and actually probably the players probably need a breather as well. This game has been non-stop from start to finish.
Not the world's most popular decision, I'd suggest, but they're going for the 3 points. Can't really blame them, they only lead by 2.
I would think Twickenham would know the value of kicking penalties when the chance arises.
No comment. And there are 3 for Gavin Hastings, and the 5-point lead that I'm sure will urge the crowd's support of Europe to come back with a superb judgment. He took the gamble and it worked. Jean-Claude Langlade of the French 2nd Division club here, within a point.
And it certainly was a gamble because the overlap was on there for the home unions, but if it comes off, it's worth it, and Langlade has had a major impact on this game in the centre, and he deserves that try. 2nd
Division player who's been in that role because he's not allowed by French regulations after changing club to move into competition in a first-team club, but, well, it was a gamble because the overlap was there.
Hastings did broadcast it a bit, but they always are a gamble, and if
To add the chance for the lead. It's rebounded off the post. He can't believe it, nor the crowd. 19-18. There's a... Chalmers on the loop. Hastings in the line into a swathe of blue shirts. Jeffrey to Winterbottom. Inside the 22, Hill again. Chalmers, Andrew, Guscott. Guscott sees a half gap. Tries to get the pass around the player. Picked up by Tuada. Dummies to Andrew, to Guscott now, he passes. And it's a possession again. Chalmers, can they stretch it? Hastings, great tackle by Tuada. Chalmers having to race back. Tuada in pursuit. Determined effort, but Stanger was in support. Gets away from Felina, not for long, but it's Hill. Hill with Jeffrey inside, and still Hill. Jeffrey. The final pass, not quite grasped. To Sol. Ducks the shoulder and the head. To set it up again. And there's a man obstructing on the floor. Quick ball again. This time offside by the whole of the backs and more for Home Unions. To Cronin, just a metre or so short. Yet another repeat performance. And it's a word to Alexander Tikhonov from referee Fred Howard. And yet another tap penalty with 10 minutes to go. It's the same variation. Which way will it go this time? Jeffrey's there. It's worked again. Can you believe it? The players contest, thinking, I believe, there was a knock-on, and they are more than a little dischuffed.
the same move now. Is there a knock-on here by Jeffrey as he goes up? They're saying Cronin knocked it on, I think.
And if he touched it, Jeffrey...
would have been offside.
Absolutely.
It's the hand of the blonde Jeffrey who must look for here. I don't know, I don't think it is a knock-on. I think it comes off a blue man.
Did Jeffrey knock it on as he's putting it down? Well, doesn't matter. Referee says try, and try it is. Counter-attack by Craig Chalmers. Underwood, halfway line, the pick-up by Session. Now Dumitrash. Still in play. Not now. Finally the flag goes. This is Tuada. But Jeffrey, good cover. Feeds to Guscott. Weaving his way through. Sight the crowd love. Hands off 1-2, and he's still going, and he's all the way. Jeremy Guscott. Langlard despairingly. Guscott rounds off a brilliant individual effort. Quite magnificent.
A brilliant try, and it's the first time in this whole match that the defence on either side has broken down completely, because Guscott actually wanders through an awful lot of tackles here. Players seem to be leaving him to one another, but still he has a lot to do. Webber puts in what could have been a good tackle, but he's away now and nobody's going to catch him. But some weak defence, but that's great stuff by Jeremy Guscott.
Tremendous elusive running skills here. The switch, the acceleration, the balance which takes him through. This doesn't happen by chance. Even as he stumbles, he recovers and adds the pace. And that's a gem from Jeremy. Solid through the middle. European lineup. And tremendous that the Fira nations have come together and provided a festival together with the 4 home unions in such a good cause. And for Tapper there, a first involvement in the game, this tall Swede from Enköping. Offside against the European side. David Soul, Rob Andrew, Craig Chalmers, Stanger on the wide outside. Andrew confident. This is Underwood. The cover by Felina. Andrew inside. Oh, great score. Style, class. Rugby.
The Frenchman Doncla gave Underwood absolutely nothing on this left wing, but Mironov, normally a fly half, is a different kettle of fish altogether, and given a yard against him, he's always going to beat him. Sheer pace on the outside, but again, good to see him looking inside, and Rob Andrew, good support from him too.
Gliding home. It's a lovely dummy. And when you've got that sort of lead, you can take these sort of risks, and somehow they then seem to flow. Rory Underwood was looking for a run. He'd been pretty well marked most of the day, and as Eddie Butler said, he supported well inside, did Rob Andrew, to round it off, and Hastings adds the points for the conversion as the combined efforts of England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales begin to roll home. 37 points to 18 as we race a fly half, shall I say, together. Peter Winterbottom. Chalmers again. Jeremy Guscott decides it's Stanger's turn. And off he goes, the Flying Scotsman. John Jeffrey. Almost sevens-like now. That's Cronin. Not quite that turn of pace to follow it up in Lagisquet style. Chalmers, Andrew, options here, Winterbottom, Guscott. Thank you very much, says Gavin Hastings. So the floodgates finally opened. And I think once the crucial score went against Europe at the 1918 and then perhaps again at 25-18, they decided to let things slip a bit.
And perhaps the European side made one or two changes too many and broke up what little cohesion they had managed to put together, and really they have fallen prey to this this great surge by the home union side.
So what could well be the final play of the match. Thumps it through the middle. Courteously, Philippe Dantran applauds. The crowd do too as the final whistle goes. A standing ovation all round for what has been a game. They can often misfire, you know, but this one didn't, because it was a real rugby contest, superbly played by the international select team under the banner of Europe. The first time ever Europe have produced a rugby team, and the four home unions in the end showing better cohesion and superb skills on a day that has certainly been one of great fun, but with that serious underlying theme of at least £500,000 raised for the Romanian appeal. Rugby has certainly given its contribution on the field and off it, and all round this has been a day to remember for Romania, but also for some excellent rugby by 30-something players